our new kite for 2017. It's the Slash. The Slash is a pure wave and strapless kite. And I think it makes a lot of sense that we finally come up with a wave and strapless kite, because we live here on Maui and that's what we do all year long. We ride wave, we ride strapless. So I think it makes a lot of sense that we finally have a dedicated kite for it. And the key thing I worked on for this kite was first was the way the kite turns. So when you ride a wave, if you ride by steering your kite back and forth, the goal was to get a kite that pivots really well. So it turns really fast, but also it has a constant pulley in your turn. So when you do a bottom turn, there's not sudden pull. You can really focus on your riding and the kite just pulls the same way during the whole time it turns. So that's really key for wave riding. But the other thing that was something that we put extra time on it was to make sure the kite drifts really well. Because sometimes what you want to do when you ride your wave is just focus on your wave, let your kite there, barely steer it, just hold it with one hand, and you want to make sure that it just follows you downwind. And to do this, what I've done is I've made a kite that's more swept. That means the wingtips are sitting further back compared to some of the kites in our line. And what that thing does is this extra weight in the back of the kite allows that when you actually trying to drift your kite, kind of like slightly depowered, that extra weight in the back makes sure the kite sits at a pretty low angle of attack. And that low angle of attack makes sure that it's just slowly drifting downwind. So really that's something you can feel right away, is how much you can just ride the wave and not worry about the kite. The other thing too is, like I say, strapless. That's how we ride a lot of people. And so if you want to go strapless on that kite, the big focus was to get a great amount of depower. And the great amount of depower is such a good thing when you ride strapless, because when you do a jump, sometimes there's a little extra gust coming, or you just mistime your landing. The extra depower lets you just stop everything and land right where you want. So that's key to that kite, is the amount of depower that allows you to do your strapless tricks. Finally, what's really awesome about that kite and our whole new line this year, it's made out of our new Quad-Tex material. It's a material we worked on for 3 years with our supplier in Japan, Teijin. Those guys know how to make high quality material, and we came to them, and I wanted to make the best material ever. So that's what we worked on. And the key thing to this material is that it's got a quadrupole ripstop. And there's so much ripstop in this material that it becomes almost the opposite of the other materials. The other material, if you think about it, there's like the regular weaving, and then there's a little ripstop every like 3 mm or 4 mm. Now there's so much ripstop that it's kind of the opposite. It's a weaving of ripstop, and then we have a feeder in between of the regular yarn, the little yarn. So the material is a lot stiffer. So you feel it right away when you pump up your kite, you launch it, you just pull on your bar, and you feel like everything is just so much crisper, so much brighter. So that's a key thing. But also the tests we've done on the pulling machine shows that it's 30% stronger than any other material out there. And even compared to some of the other materials, it's up to 70% stronger on the brake test. And we didn't only do the lab test, but we've also tried it in big surf, big waves the last winter. Just let the kite sit and get a big wave on it, and it was clear that it was stronger than any other material we've ever tried. So you can definitely charge on that kite and feel confident that even if you do mistakes, you drop your kite, the chances to have it break are a lot less high than it was with the older materials. So try a Slash, you would love it for strapless and wave riding.
Hey, what's up? My name's Jesse Richman, and I'm standing here with the new 2017 Naish Slash. This is the brand new wave kite that we have out, and it's really cool to ride because this basically lets me focus more on my surfing and less on trying to deal with what my kite's gonna do. This thing is really predictable and gives me kind of everything I need to work with when I'm out in big waves, small waves. Doesn't really matter what waves I have. If the conditions are right, I can park the kite and just focus on riding, go up, get some big turns, whoopah, and not have to deal with my kite because it'll just kind of drift there, float through the window. But if the conditions kind of favor more of, turning the kite down the line, this thing is super responsive and it'll kind of turn on a pivot And through the turn, what I really love is that it has a consistent pull, so I'll never get that yank through the whole, section. I'll be able to have the same power so that it just gives me everything I need to release everything I want off the top. So with this kite, I'm pretty psyched and just kind of gives me everything I want on the waves.
So I'm standing right in front of the new Naish Slash, and I totally love this kite. It really makes me feel at home the first time I took it out on the water, and it's just so great because it's very stable and it makes it so easy to ride, and it really suits my riding.